Spoilers ahead, adventurers! If you haven't caught up on the latest episodes, hit pause now and return once you've braved the revelations of the past. You have been warned. Previously on Thy Staff of Power. After saving sacred caffeine and banishing budget fairies, our party, ever thirsty for meaning and mischief, joined a path group, seeking wisdom on the elusive true path. What followed was a brief descent into theological inquiry, community bonding, and, well, chaos incarnate. It was Aronation Day, a high holy potluck of praise and potato salad. Our heroes showed up, plates in hand, minds full of questions, and mouths ready for mild spiritual debate, but debate turned to doctrine, doctrine turned to demonstration, and demonstration turned to teaching small children how to play with fire. Thank you, Dustin. And in a blaze of unintended glory, the potluck was torched. Sanctuary walls were lit by divine flame, or at least divine adjacent, and all who attended fled in holy confusion. Naturally, Steward Gracefield was not amused, and thus our heroes were summoned into a confessional chamber, not of forgiveness, but of assignment. They had made their confessions and were assigned a Penance Quest. One final chance to reclaim honor, rebuild burned bridges, and maybe figure out if the true path included fire safety training. And that's where we pick up today. We've got a revelatory episode coming your way, so press the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and may your feet find the path, your hands be free of accelerants, and your hearts be ready for this episode of Thy Staff of Power.
Thy staff of power strikes the night. The arcane rules we rise to smite.
Perfect confession. Okay, great. So you guys have been given a penance quest. And as a way to prepare for said quest, what you have been tasked to do is to, because of Dustin's affinity for children, they're going to try and turn that towards good. So you have been tasked with teaching the weekly solace school, aka the weekly Sunday school lesson for all of the children. I have a thing we could go to next, but I also wanted to give y'all the opportunity. What would be Dustin's Sunday school, solace school lesson as he teaches these children? And you guys as a path group have to come up with this together, but what would you teach?
I think it starts with a tune we all know. Head, shoulder, knees, and bows, and then I teach them how to hunt with a bow and arrow.
Dustin, that's great and all, but we have to tie this into the moral compass. So how can we jump to that?
We've been morally entrusted to tend the land, and we must hunt in order to survive.
Okay. Titan, do you have anything to contribute to this at all?
Yeah, I think we should just teach them that knowledge is power, not magic. What do you guys think?
No, Titan, we are not doing that. We are not going to do that.
Well, then we could teach them head, shoulders, knees, and bows. Hunting is really good and will benefit the economy here in Everstead.
We have been given dominion over all beings, living creatures here on this planet.
Okay. Well, we got a whole bunch of creatures and critters coming to the sanctuary, so I don't know how that will necessarily be received. I like though starting with a song. Okay, I think that we got something there. We can start with a song with some hand movements. I like the knees and bows idea. But maybe we can tell them, like, hey, maybe we don't set things on fire and let things get super out of hand in the future. But submitting to authority is also a good thing within reason. So maybe there's something there.
I think the best way to teach them that is to send them to the mines.
I know that they yearn for them, but we can't do that on a Sunday. They get their Sundays off. Titan, have you attended a Sunday service before? Because I think that maybe even you just sitting back, relaxing, and learning will be really beneficial.
No, I spend most of my times fighting in underground fight clubs. When I was a child, I didn't really spend a lot of times. I didn't have any solace school to teach me these songs or anything.
All right, well, maybe, how about this? how about Dustin? We begin with your song. You can lead it, give them the movements, and we can talk about how, like a bow and arrow, you need to know what it is that you are aiming at. And even if you were just a degree off, something might go wrong, right? When we miss the mark and we don't live a life that is obedient or good, then it can lead to things that just aren't good. So maybe we can talk about what it looks like to set our aim on what is good. So we can start with your song. We can do that. I can pray. And Titan, you can just sit back and look pretty and not stare at that orc girl, okay?
You're right. I should stop staring at her. It's not.
You know what?
Yes.
She came up to me and she brought that up, and I just had to say something. All right, you're making her uncomfortable, Titan.
I'm sorry.
Go talk to her. Maybe start with hello. Maybe start with can we go get some Mara and talk about our stories, right?
You're right. Actually, how did Mr. Phil Wickflame approach you?
Oh my gosh, I love this story. I mean, well, how much time do we got, right? But to make a story short, we were actually in university together, and we were in the same class. We were studying about the laws of what is good, and which was, my favorite class. And he stumbles on in with his lute and his lyre, and he's like, "I'm so sorry that I'm running late." There just so happened to be one seat right next to me, and he sat down. And the minute that our eyes met, I knew right then and there. And we just started passing notes in class and scorching them so we wouldn't get in trouble, right? So nobody would see them. And that was the beginning of it. It was really sweet. And yeah, we made some of our fondest memories there, made some of our best friends there. Maybe you should consider going to school.
Ah, yes, I see. So he's a musician. I must learn an instrument. That is what I'll do.
Okay, cool. So, with this, I'm gonna ask y'all as a group to let's have Dustin roll and then Emberlyn roll the performance check to see how well you teach these kids.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna tell you what happens until we get to the actual thing I've planned. But I figured that exercise is worth our time. I'm very excited about head, shoulders, knees, and bows.
That is iconic. Okay.
I might change it up to set a fire inside of me.
Set a fire down in my soul. Yeah.
And that'll be
Gotcha.
next week.
I got a 20, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I got a 19 plus 2, so 21.
Okay, so you guys did really well. Okay, so you have headed out. You're chaperoning a group of Solace School children, and you've taught a lesson or two, but you're doing the annual Everstead Sanctuary of the Eternal Compass field trip to the Arendor Memorial Dungeon. This is an interactive teaching exhibit museum meant to instill respect for the guild's sacred history, but it's a children's museum telling them about the history of the guild and how it was founded and everything like that. So everybody's dressed in their little tunics, and they've been embroidered with a little compass sigil. They march along like a worn cobblestone road, hang out on outside of the city. Some of them have some like wooden swords or bows and arrows. A lot of them have hammers because that's what Arendor used. And some of them have a little children's copy of Arendor the Lawgiver, Champion of Justice, in their hands. And he's got like a dwarf posing like this in a superhero type pose. So you're with your path group. So Sarah's there. She's walking at the front and acting as if this is the most important duty she's ever had, along with Justice, Kai Brother Justice. Goric is just snacking on some jerky along the way, probably offering some to Titan along the way. Morwen's at the back, just hanging out. And Talia and Lena are there as well, and Elowen is there as well. Elowen is excited, and she's hanging out with Nikel Brightfoot along the way. And Nikel and Lena are playing hide and seek as they run around and they go towards the dungeon. As you travel down this road, you're almost there, but are you doing anything in particular as you travel along?
I'm yelling at all the kids. All right, now what are we not gonna do? Set
things
fires.
on fire.
Exactly. We're not going to set any fires. We're not going to touch anything or climb on anything or disintegrate anything or eat anything or interact with anything except with our eyes, our eyeballs. All right. We're going to look and not touch or destroy so that we can actually come back here again. All right. We don't want to get in trouble. So find your buddies. Everybody buddy up. And don't touch anything. Only hold the hand of your buddy.
I will be threatening them, telling them stories of how I was sent to the orcish mines as a child to mine stuff for my orc father, who was a bladesmith, and tell them how grueling and terrible it was. And can I roll an intimidation check to see if it works?
Yep, absolutely.
Two. That will be +2.
Oh,
20.
rolling pretty high
No
today, guys.
way.
Yeah.
All right, so all the children are like scared to bits, and they're like, "We don't want to get sent to the mines."
You will go to the mines and you will mine for the most fine orcish steel, and I will make the most powerful blades if you do not behave on this trip. There will be no breaks or snack time.
Titan,
No snack time.
we are going to have snack time, Titan. I even need snack time.
All right, Miss Amberlynn, but the adults will have snack time.
I'd like to give the children an inspirational speech to make them come back to bravery. Children, learn that the frailty of life is the beginning of wisdom. That life is but a passing wind. That you are here today, but gone tomorrow. All is but vanity, children. Be brave, be courageous, be strong. Go forth.
Okay, let's roll a
Dustin,
persuasion.
we're just going to a memorial, Dustin.
Let's roll a persuasion check for that speech.
Isn't my persuasion like 6?
It's yeah. A 22.
22.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, so I will say some of the kids are like, they're gonna go up to Miss Amberlynn and they're gonna ask, "Are we gonna die tomorrow, or are we gonna get sent to the mines?" But Nikel and Lena are very excited. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna be brave today," and a couple kids are like that too. So you've managed to corral some of the kids back from the despair of being sent to the mines.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Anyway, as you crest the hill, the dungeon looms ahead. It's a repurposed ruin of like an ancient keep. Its outer walls, you could see like kind of in the walls were like some old faded golden banners that were and things of that, and some statues. But now it's got the bright it's got some bright golden banners and a statue of Arendor chiseled into the entrance. And it's been carefully reconstructed to resemble like a real, authentic dungeon that these kids can delve into. But as you enter, like as adults, you can clearly tell like the gates and some of these traps and stuff are all just decorative. A cheerful guild steward who I failed to name. I'm gonna. What should I name this guild steward, guys? Let's come up with it on the spot.
What section are we speaking?
He is a male tour guide, basically.
Male tour guide. I think his name should be
Wow, we're very creative, y'all.
We're super creative here.
Hey,
If we
I
don't-
came up with Chad last time. I want to give my fellow players a chance.
I think his name should be Samsor.
Sam Soar.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam Soar, the guild steward tour guide, is here to greet you at the entrance. And he'll say, "Welcome, young seekers of the compass. Today, you embark on a journey through the righteous trials of Arendor, the lawgiver, the greatest hero of our age. As you walk his path, may you be inspired to serve the guild with unwavering devotion." And all the kids are like, "Wow!" And they all begin to enter this dungeon. as you actually enter in, the guild steward Sam Soar will tell you, all right, everybody, we're about to go into a couple of rooms that are going to show you just who Arendor the Lawgiver was. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what Arendor stood for. All right? And we're going to do that through a couple of rooms first. And he'll have you enter the first room. The first room is a room with like wooden goblin figures shackled to a wall, standing before a massive like judge's podium where an illusion of Arendor himself is up there. And the a booming voice will come from the illusion that will say, "Behold these goblins who refuse the path. Shall we show them justice or allow chaos to reign?" And the steward will stand up there, the guild steward, and he'll say, "So kids, what should we do?" And there are 2 buttons on pedestals for them to push. He can sentence the goblins to exile, or you can show the goblins mercy. And what do the kids pick? In this scenario, everyone is a little intimidated, but Lena will come up to Miss Emberlyn and will say, "Can I go pick?"
Oh, of course you can pick, honey. Go on.
And she'll go up there and she'll pick mercy, right? And the Arendor will shake his head sternly, and it will go tisk tisk and say, "A kind heart is noble, but justice must be absolute." And all of the wooden goblins are ejected from the room.
And Lena runs up to me and I grab her and I go, I wasn't expecting that at all.
And the steward will say, "Okay, on to the next room."
I'll be cheering, yeah, with some of the boys of the group.
Yeah, to the goblins, right? Okay, so the next room is, there are a bunch of books on display, and there are, once again, this time there's like a puppets, like sock puppet type things that pop up of Arendor, who will appear and say, "In my time, heretics sought to spread false knowledge, twisting the words of the moral compass. What should we do with these books?" And there are a bunch of books with titles on them, and the most of the kids can't read, but Nikel and Lena can read, and they'll read the titles aloud, and they'll say, and they'll look, and it says, one of the books is called Beyond the Path. Another book is called The Burden of Certainty. Another book is called The Golden Concord. Another, Concord? I don't know. I think of Lexington and Concord, but anyway, I'm from Boston. The Path Less Traveled, The Veiled Pursuit, and The Wild Paths. Those are the different books, and they're gonna ask the steward, which one of these, what are the books about? And the steward will tell them. But Lena and Nikel were kind of look really confused. They're not really going to know. And so they're going to go up to you guys and ask, which books do you think we should pick that are not good? I'm going to give you the descriptions, and I'm going to read it aloud for the sake of our audience. Since they can't see it. The books are titled Beyond the Path. It's a study of other traditions and moral frameworks outside the guild. There is The Burden of Certainty. It's a philosophical treatise on the dangers of believing one's interpretations of the truth is absolute. The Golden Concord, or Concord, whatever my Bostonian accent will say, is a historical account of the guild's alliance with the Gilded Dominion. The Path Less Traveled is a moral philosophy text on why the only true path is the guild's path, and it's also in all poems. The Veiled Pursuit is Arendor's journals and letters compiled into a book used to guide the guild and its members. And The Wild Paths is a druidic perspective on morality that rejects the need for a rigid singular path. Which one of these books should the children reject? They are asking you.
I will say everything but the Golden Concord and the Veiled Pursuit. And then I will say, and if you choose wrong, to the mines.
These poor children.
All right, kids. This is not what I was expecting. I thought y'all were gonna be like touching starfish or something here and like playing on a jungle gym. I don't know. Books. Maybe the wild paths. I don't know. I feel like we could all read these things and kind of learn from some of them. Maybe the wild paths. I don't know. Dustin, Titan.
I believe the one book to reject is The Path Less Traveled. I have poor experience with some of the guild's paths, as they say. Being rejected as a child and forced to live alone in solitude. My mother judged wrongfully, convicted, scorned, labeled as things that she wasn't. And so I say, children, reject the path.
This is real deep. Kids, I bet that you could kind of hit any one of those buttons and we'll figure out what happens next.
Okay. I think so the strongest suggestion was from Titan, which was to just keep the Golden Conquered and the Veiled Pursuit, right? So I think Mikkel will go up there and he will choose those. And the steward will say, that's a great decision. And he will hand him all the other books, right? And these are like not real books. They're like paper mache, like prop books. But he will hand them and say, all right, what do you do with the books that you don't want? And we must reject. And Mikkel will look at him, look at the books and say, burn them? And the steward will say, exactly. And so there's a fire that will open up and Mikkel will toss the books into the fire and they can go on to the next room.
I thought we said no fires. And I love fires. And I thought we said no fires this time.
And Mikkel will come back to you like, fire! And he's very excited.
I will put my hand on his shoulder, be proud, and I'll be like, you're going to make a great steward one day. Trust me. It's in your blood.
Oh, no. Okay. The next room is a pretty simple room where the kids get a chance to play around, and there's like a bunch of mannequins that are like, and rotating platforms and that have foam swords, and they'll throw little balls at them, and they get a chance to fight enemies with Arendor. And that's a pretty quick, fun little room they get to hang out with. The fourth room that they'll enter is a room that's set up as another courtroom, more of an ornate office, and Arendor is there, and he will write out some of the sacred laws that guide the guild, and some of his journal entries that were turned into the that were used as the foundation to found the Gilded Dominion's code of laws. And that is a long scroll there that they can sign to pledge their name to uphold righteousness and serve the guild. And the kids are encouraged to sign if they so choose, to join Arendor. And a lot of kids will automatically go and do so. Mikkel is all for it. He'll sign it. I think Lita will look at her mother and look at you as the party and say, did I sign it?
You're gonna sign up for something, you should have a full understanding of what it is that you are committing to. So maybe you can go home, read it with your mother, and if you feel so led to do so, then you can make that commitment yourself, sweetheart.
Okay, she'll say. And I think she feels a little left out because everyone else signed, but she'll keep that in mind.
I never sign a single thing. The only thing I sign with is an arrow through the heart.
Oh my god. Okay. The final room is bathed in golden light, and there is a giant, oversized replica of the moral compass hovering over a pristine marble altar. And the kids can all walk in and go, wow. And they all admire it. There's that illusion of Arendor that will appear once again. And he'll say, my greatest gift was not the sword nor the law. It was the moral compass, which shall guide us for all time. And the steward will say, if the children wish, that they can pledge this lawgiver's decree and this is supposed to be the final test for them to clear this dungeon together. They've been tested morally, they fought through some enemies, and now they must devote themselves to the cause, and that will help them do so. And there's this oath, and they can read it aloud. Here is the oath that they are going to give, in theory. The oath says, "Seekers, do you believe in the compass, unerring and true?" And the response is, "We believe, we trust in its path." The guide will ask, "Do you renounce the ways of the wayward, the lost, the doubting?" And the response will be, "We renounce them. The compass alone leads us home." The guide will ask, "Will you walk the path through trial and storm, through burden and doubt, never turning aside?" And the response will be, "We will walk it, unwavering and steadfast." The guide will ask, "Do you swear to uphold the law, to defend the guild, and to bring order to the realms?" And the response will be, "We so swear, by steel and by soul." The guide will ask, "And should the path seem unclear, should the compass point to trials unknown, will you follow still?" And they will say, "We will follow, the compass does not err." And the final affirmation altogether will be, "The path is true, the compass is righteous. Arendar guides us, and we shall not falter. By the guild, by the law, by the eternal compass, we stand firm, ever forward, ever faithful, ever true." As you guys are in this room, I'll remind you, right? Your path group is here, and some people, like Guide Brother Justice and Sarah and Elowen, are very happy to just participate in this exercise. But you'll very clearly notice that Morwen seems pretty uncomfortable and does not stand and does not recite any of this. Do you want to recite this along with the children, or do you want to do anything in this moment?
I lean over to Morwen and I say, "Can you tell me about this hesitation you're feeling? I know that you're feeling it."
Yeah. I think you were saying the answer to Lena earlier, right? This is a big decision in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't just do this lightly. We're asking them to be adventurers, that is to say, to deal with real danger and death and fighting and losing loved ones as you fight. It's too great to just ask them as a 6-year-old to understand what they're really going to do. This isn't, binding or anything, but this is how we're raising our kids.
It's interesting because it's like, in general, a good thing, right? The moral compass is what we all like vow to follow, and something that we truly all believe in. But meanwhile, the entire experience feels like it's almost being like used in a way by the guild itself to kind of almost brainwash or like maintain some control over like whoever it is that is pledging to these things. So it's like the conflict of like agreeing like in general with following the compass and seeking like good and being unwavering and steadfast,
Even
then
them
you're
saying,
just like,
even them saying, "Arendar guides us." I'm like, who?
where does that say it in the?
Mm-hmm.
It says it in the final affirmation.
The
Arendar
final
guides us.
affirmation.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Dang. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have real in-person reactions to this thing, we can actually talk about that too. Any thoughts or feelings overall, or things you would like to say or do?
No, I think you did a great job at creating like a gray area here where it's like kind of tough to like I'm truly having to think this out and be like, what am I for and what am I against? Like, this whole experience up until this point, I'm like, oh no, I don't like what's going on. And then I'm like reading this and I'm like, certain parts, I'm like, I do believe in the compass. That's why I'm here. You know what I mean? This is what my entire search for is, hoping that the compass is what ultimately like restores and redeems like the name of my family. So it's very, very interesting, dude.
In real life, I would not agree to this, but in character, I would already know this whole speech, and I would be saying it before even spoken. just come to agreement.
Why in real life would you not do this, Harley?
Because only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Bye.
Sure. I definitely did some research here on different types of oaths and codes and stuff to try and do that, and I did look at the Jedi code for the record. So
Incredible.
okay.
I think my character doesn't repeat it. It's like she agrees with parts of it, kind of like you were saying, Dustin, but after especially overhearing the conversation earlier between Sarah and Morwen, she's a little bit more perceptive of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, as everyone is saying the last words together, except for those who are not participating, the ever forward, ever faithful, ever true, you'll see that Nikel has run up, has snuck around everybody and has run up, and he will shout at the top of his lungs that Arendor walked the true path and he found the compass, so I so I will too. And he runs over and leaps to try and grab the compass.
Nikel, what did I say?
And he'll run over there, grab the compass, and as he grabs the compass, he will knock it off the pedestal, and end up, it's big and heavy, so he just tips it, and it'll kind of fall off, crack the floor, and roll and hit the back wall. The back wall was a giant, like, mosaic tile mural of Arendor, and it will crack a little bit, and some of the tiles will fall away. Before anyone can really react, because everyone's just sort of shocked that this happened and that the compass was just right. Nikel will say, "Ooh, what's this?" And he'll touch from your vantage point, a glowing rune that has been revealed from behind the mosaic tile. With that, the whole wall will begin to shake, and the whole dungeon will begin to shake, and the wall will begin to fall apart. As this happens, you can see revealed behind the mural is a hidden, like, antechamber, and 4 suits of ancient armor just rise from their resting places and clatter to life. Their movements are kind of slow at first, but soon they're floating. So they're kind of floating parts of their bodies. But their feet are on the ground, and they begin to advance as their bodies glow, and they draw weapons. As they begin to advance outward, you have like a single round. We're not in combat yet, but a single round to do something, because they're just exiting this antechamber. What would you like to do?
Hey everybody, my name is Aaron Vargas. I play Dustin from Thy Staff of Power, the D&D podcast where disciples get dicey. And guess what? We're doing a live show at Reach Conference 2025 on November 6th through 8th in Orlando, Florida. Yes, Thy Staff of Power on stage, in person, in full chaotic glory. But here's the twist. You can play a part in it. That's right. We're running a massive one-shot session before the live show, and the choices made in the game will directly affect the outcomes of the live show and the future of the campaign. You're not just watching the story unfold. You're stepping into the fractured realms with us. Will you smite a steward, save his soul, or just to unionize the chair-stacking goblins? Who knows? That's up to you and the dice. Reach is where Christian gamers, streamers, and cosplayers unite to learn, laugh, and maybe fight a bugbear or two in a safe, fully sanctioned fantasy environment. Reach Conference, yeah, that's where Mario Kart tournaments share space with deep theological debates. Hopefully. So join us for the one shot, stay for the live show, get your badge and all the holy deeds at www.reachconf.org. That's www.reachconf.org. Again, Reach Conference 2025 on November 6th through 8th in Orlando, Florida. We better see you there. Can I do my the armor?
You want to
What was
adopt?
it?
You want to do your invocation?
Yeah, it looks like their weapons are melee weapons, correct?
Yes.
Like they're not fighting with any magic.
Mm.
Can I set that before we start? What was it? It was
Yes. You can use your Eldritch Invocation, which is the Armor of
yeah,
Shadows,
yeah.
which will
Armor
let
of
you
Shadows.
cast Mage Armor on yourself for free. Mm-hmm.
Got you. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Yep. This lasts 8 hours, and it's and your AC becomes 13 plus your Dexterity modifier, which means your AC will be 17 as opposed to 15.
Gotcha.
Am I able to do turn undead? Would this apply?
Let me quickly look that up. That's a great question.
Because that would cause them to freeze in their tracks, correct?
That would be the case if they don't pass the check. Let me double check. Are they undead? No, they are not.
Okay. Well, instead, can I use command and say halt so that they do stop?
Let's take a look also. I'm going to look at the actual spell to make sure we know.
Spell?
Oh,
I
that's
don't
right.
deal in spells. I use divine power.
That's right. You use your divine power to...
I'm a Christian woman.
to divine your way into action. Okay, this is the target must succeed in a way. This has no effect if the target is undead, if it doesn't understand your language, or if your command is directly harmful to it. So can this thing understand your language? I'm gonna roll to see if it can. That's what I'll roll. I'm gonna roll to see if it can. It's gonna be a 50-50.
Do that, and if not, then I'll pick something else.
Okay, it cannot. It cannot.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Titan, you pick something. I need to look at my list.
I'm going to quickly react. Pull one of my daggers out, cut the rope of the stanchion because we're in a museum and there's little roped out sections. I'm gonna twirl it around to Kyle and then wrap it around him and then pull him towards us to safety.
Okay, yeah, try to lasso to kill and pull.
Yeah,
him out.
lasso. Yeah.
Let's do. I think we've rolled in this campaign that dexterity checks like that would probably be just a dexterity check, not a sleight of hand. So let's do a dexterity check to try and yank him.
Gotcha. Boom, boom. +3. I got a 21.
21. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you're able to yank the kill away. Who will just look at the armor and be, wow, this is awesome. And when you grab him, he'll say, this museum is so cool.
Dang. I didn't even realize he was right there, bro.
Yep. Okay, Kirby, did you look up what you wanted to do?
So since I'm right next to Morwen, can I convince her to get all of the children out of there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna just convince her to. I'm just gonna talk to her and be like, get everybody out of here so that us three can take care of this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. Let me double check.
Or at least get them out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she will she and the other members of your path group will gather the children and get them back. Gorik and Morwen especially will draw weapons and
to protect them.
And they will focus on that alone while the rest of you deal with what is about to happen. Let's roll for initiative as we start combat.
There's an initiative check, right?
Mm-hmm. It's just going to be your dexterity bonus unless you get something fancy. So your initiative is +4.
+4.
Okay, I rolled a 12 and my dexterity is -1, so 11.
11.
I got a 20.
Okay, 20. And then
Come on.
Titan's roll was Titan's roll a 21?
Yeah.
Okay, so 21. So that means it's going to be. Well, I got to roll for the animated armor as well. Okay, it's okay. So that's just a 16. So it's going to be Titan, Dustin, Armor, Amberlyn.
Okay.
So I go first.
You go first. So Titan, it's your turn.
All right, bet. I will go. I'm just gonna go and attack one of the suits of armor
Okay.
and pull my swords out, unsheathe them. And what bonus would that be? Is that
If you're attacking with your swords, you have your +5 bonus to both of them because you have the 2-up in fighting feat that allows you to.
yeah? So I roll 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Boom. All right, one hits. It's 21. The other's 5.
Okay, yeah. One of one's a 21 and a 9. So 21 definitely hits, and
9,
you can roll for that damage. That would be with your scimitar.
All right, and then I roll D20 or D10.
And it's going to be with your scimitar. That's going to be a.
Oh, that's
I believe
right.
it's a D6. I believe for scimitars.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a D6 plus 3.
D6 plus 3. Okay. Dun. And that will be a 9.
Yeah. Okay, 9. All right, so you do 9 damage to the one, this armor number 1, and you are in the middle of the fray. Okay, it is now Dustin's turn next.
All right. You know I gotta hit him hard for the first one. I'm gonna do the agonizing blast, my eldritch evocations on my eldritch blast, which means that I do whatever plus my charisma modifier, which is a +4 on whatever damage that is if I land.
Yep, that's right.
All right, cool. So we're gonna go to eldritch blast, which what is this? On a hit, the target takes 1d10 force damage.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So first I have to roll to a 1d20, correct?
Yep, and then you're doing 1d20 plus 6,
What? Why am I doing +6?
because that's your accuracy plus your bonus for being a warlock, etc.
Got you. Okay, excellent. 1d20. So I got a nat 20 on that.
Oh,
Crazy.
all right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's
So,
go.
what for that? We're gonna deal double damage, right? So you're gonna I'm gonna have you roll for damage 2d20 plus 8, because you're
Oh my
normally doing
gosh.
1d10 and then you add a +4 for force damage. So
Yeah.
you have 2d20 plus 8 because of your agonizing blast and a crit.
Got you.
Whoa.
And that's gonna be 30.
Wow.
Ooh.
Come
Okay.
on.
Wow. That's a lot of damage. That's actually that's statistically impossible, isn't it? 2d20 plus 8. Oh, it should be 2d10 plus 8. I probably told you incorrectly.
Okay, yeah.
Let's re-roll that one. 30 is statistically
2D
impossible. I was like, okay, wait.
2d10 plus 8?
2d10 plus 8. Yes, I might have misspoken.
Got you.
16.
16.
Okay, that's more realistic there. Okay, cool. You do 16 damage to this animated armor. And I forgot to mention that when Titan slashes this thing for 9 damage, it becomes bloodied. In this case, that's the D&D term to say it's like not looking so hot. And in my rule of thumb, it basically means you've taken out at least half its health.
Right.
Obviously, an animated armor doesn't have any blood or anything, but that's just the term to say it's been down below half.
Is it? I'm sorry. You want to keep going?
So Titan's attack bloodied this armor, and the way that you can tell that is you hit the armor, and the armor starts to like shake, and it's not holding together as a suit of armor very well anymore, right?
Yeah.
In contrast, Dustin hits this other piece of armor in the helmet and just knocks the helmet clean off, and the whole armor just collapses to the ground, and the thing's gone.
Cool.
So
I attacked one of the different pieces of armor, though, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So you destroyed a second piece of armor, and so there's only 3 armors left. All right. With that, there's 3 of them. I'm gonna have them attack. So let's roll against Titan here. we're gonna have 2 of them attack Titan, and then I'm gonna roll randomly to see who the other one attacks. All
If
right.
it's me again.
We shall see. $1d20 plus 4. Okay. It was a 16 and a 6. So what's your AC, Titan?
Mine is a 15.
Okay, so 16 will hit you. The 6 obviously does not. That
Okay.
does 1d8 plus 2. Okay, you take 9 damage
Jeez.
Dang.
Whoa.
from this
Goodness
armor.
gracious.
I got 12 HP left.
Okay. Thank
I-
God
you
we're
can't-
level 2.
Yeah. You can't roll defenses?
Nope, not in D&D. Your defense is a static block of AC. It's just they have to try to exceed that number. There are certain things that happen that require saves, right? And that's your save bonus. That's like trying to dodge a dragon's breath, right?
Okay.
This is so close in combat. It's basically just your armor and your ability to your dexterity, which is naturally baked into your AC. While like a dragon's breath or a falling boulder or something, or like someone trying to like cast a spell that screws with your mind, those are saves, and you can roll saves against those. Most spells require saves.
Okay. I
But
see.
in this case, it's just a straight up attack. Okay, so you've taken that damage. Let's roll to see who the other one attacks. Okay, that one's gonna attack. It's the other armor is gonna move towards Dustin and attack him and try to slash him.
My sons.
They got a 7, so it totally misses. Okay, now it is Emberlyn's turn.
I'm going to throw a firebolt.
Okay. Would you like to aim at the one that Titan already hit, or a new one?
I'll just do a new one. Let's start, I don't know, weakening them. Okay, so I do a d20 plus 6. I rolled a 15
Okay.
plus 6, 21.
Oh, okay, yes, the 21 definitely hits.
And so then that's 1d10 of fire damage, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I roll that on my end.
Mm-hmm.
It is an 8.
An 8. Okay, you deal 8 damage to armor number 2. And that will and the firebolt will kind of again have that armor start shaking and its integrity, so it's bloodied as well. So number 1, number 2 are bloodied. Number 3 is totally fine. Number 3 is the one that attacked Dustin, and then number 4 is just down for the count.
Gone.
All right, so it's Titan's turn.
It's time for me to go and finish armor number 1. All right. So I'm just going to do what I did again. I'm going to roll. What happened here? Do D20. And then I get plus 3, correct?
That's correct.
And then I do that 2 times.
Oh, sorry. You're adding your bonus to. You add plus 5 on for scimitars and your short sword in terms of.
Okay, that's right. All right, I rolled that plus 5 and then plus 5. All right, so scimitar hits again with a 21,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna roll a d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Yep.
I deal 9 damage again.
Okay, so the armor is able to block your short sword strike, but you're able to slash it through, and in fact, your slash is so good that you're able to cut right through the chest plate and just slice the armor in half. And it is destroyed, falls to the ground in a defeated pile. All right,
Oh,
Dustin's
one is
turn.
dead.
2 enemies remain.
Okay, I got one question. When I do a bonus action, is that before or after my
It's
action?
It's up to you. It can happen whenever.
Cool. So first, I'll do Armor of Agathis. Am I allowed to do that on somebody else, or does it have to be on me? Like, can I cast that on Titan?
Let me see. Armor of Agathis.
That's
I
one
will-
of my spells.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check. Armor of Agathis. Protected. It's on self. You can only do it on yourself, and you will gain 5 temporary hit points, and then creatures take 5 cold damage if they hit you with a melee attack.
Don't worry, Dustin.
Gotcha.
I got
I will-
something I can pull out.
Nice. I won't do that then, because it's not what I thought it was. I do have an ability to heal though, don't I? I have healing hands, I believe.
From being an ASMR, yes, you can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have healing hands, touch a creature, and roll 2d4. Plus 2 at level 1. What does that mean? Point bonus plus 2 at level 1?
Mm-hmm.
The creature regains the total rolled in hit points. Can I do that now or?
You can. For the record, for the audience, that is at the time we made Dustin's character, there was no ASMR species available that for free, so I constructed one to make that happen. That's one of the abilities of the ASMR species. However, what I will say, what you can do is you can run over there and try to heal him. If you do, you will incur an attack of opportunity from the armor that attacked you last turn, because you're leaving its
All right,
zone of control.
copy that. So here's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that after we take these 4 on, something else is gonna come at us. So I'm gonna save that and go for a hit.
Mm-hmm.
If something else does come at us, is that considered a different scene, or is that just?
It is still within. I mean, if something comes at you from this antechamber, it may or may not be as part of this combat. A new combat or new scene, quote unquote, will be rolling a new initiative.
So if I use spells right now, I won't be able to use them further since I only have 2 spell slots.
Yeah. You're gonna need to take a long rest before you can use a spell again. You realistically will not take a long rest if you delve further into whatever's happening right now. If you leave, you can take a rest and come back. That'll be different. But yeah.
Gotcha. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a true strike, okay, with my bow, my past. I'm gonna go for the second already damaged creature armor thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and since they are armors that are coming to life, correct?
Yes.
So if I do the true strike with the radiant damage is probably going to be better, right?
It definitely could. Yes.
Okay.
It's probably better than the straight up piercing damage, but you don't know if this armor will have weakness to radiant damage, but it might.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use the radiant damage on the true strike. So first I'll do a 1d20 plus 4, correct?
Plus 6.
Plus 6. Oh my gosh! Forget that, dude.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 7.
But it's more importantly, you rolled a 1 on your 1d20. So
Yeah,
you critically failed.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I think you're going to pull your bow out and you're going to try and fire at the other armor, but you're going to fire and miss pretty wildly, and you're going to fire an arrow into the antechamber that you can't really see what happens, but you hear like a big clunking noise coming from the distance.
Oh god.
Okay, so I will be. We'll have the armors go now. Right after this, so we're gonna have one attack. The one that attacked Dustin is still around, and then the one that attacked Titan is also still around. So we're gonna do that twice. Okay, this was on Dustin. This one was on Titan. Wow, they rolled great. Okay, so they rolled an 18 and a 19, which means they both hit you. And we're gonna roll for damage. Okay, so Dustin takes 5. Titan takes 9. Oh my god.
Lord have mercy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. What I will say, I should remind you, Titan, is if you want, and you're not gonna heal yourself, if you want to heal yourself, you do have the ability to do your second wind as a bonus action, and then when your turn comes up next. But it will be Emberlin's turn before you can get there. So
Sounds good, but y'all, I'm down to 3 HP.
Okay, my turn, right?
yes, it's your turn.
So I'm going to do healing word as a bonus action on Titan.
Okay.
And that is 2d4 plus 4.
Yes. So you can
Okay.
roll that.
So let me find my d4. It's my little triangle, right?
It's your triangle.
Okay, so 2 of these plus 4. The first number is 3.
Mm-hmm.
The second number is 4 plus 4.
Nice.
So 11. So he's back up to 14.
14. Nice. That was really high.
And then I'm going to do I'm going to do firebolt on okay, wait. So Titan's at 14. What's Dustin at?
I'm also at 14.
Okay. So number 3 is the one that has the most HP. So I could either take him out because he doesn't have any damage, or I could take 2 out, which already has some damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the one that already has some damage, because then maybe they can just go after the one.
Yes.
Their turns. Okay, so then I'll do firebolt on armor number 2. Right?
Let's go for it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that one is plus 6. 2 plus 6.
Oh,
So
okay. An 8 definitely does not hit here.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, guys.
All right. Well, you healed Titan back up to almost full, so that's great. It's now Titan's turn to go in fight.
Avenge me!
I will go after armor 2 for Mama Lynn tried to go after him. So I'm going, he's about to feel the wrath of my sword. Let's see. Let's go! 17, 25. So he
And
gets hit with the
And the
wand
last
of-
one is a crit 20, right? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to roll 3d6 plus 3d6 plus 6.
Yo!
These all right, 3 okay. So D6 plus 6 3 times.
You roll 3d6s and you add 6 to it total.
Oh, 3D okay. Then boom.
All right. 17 damage is good.
Dang.
And
Wait, he did
Come
17
on.
to the already injured one?
Yep.
Yeah, so he's gone for the third. But that's what he
it's
gets
okay.
for messing with Mama Lynn. You don't mess with Mama Ember Lynn.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you do like one of those like double chop moves where you go like make a shish kebab out of this thing, and it will just kind of slide apart in like quarters and just fall to the ground.
Heck yeah.
All right, there is one remaining. It has not been damaged. It's armor number 3, but it's Dustin's turn.
Come on.
Come on, let's
Come
do
on,
something
son.
crazy. What do we got here? All right.
Take him
well,
out.
Take him. Take him. All right.
Take
We're gonna try again the True Strike Pack Bow.
Mm-hmm.
With the radiant damage. That damage. So let's see. Hopefully this goes better than the last time. 17.
All right. Yep.
All right.
17 does hit. So let's roll for damage.
Come
All
on.
right. We
Be
got
high.
him. We got him. All right. Wait. So what do we have? We have 1d8 plus 4. But why does it say plus 6? Because that's my 1d20.
Yeah, the plus 6 is
Right.
for accuracy, plus 4 is for damage.
Got it. So 1d8 plus 4 is what I'm doing right here.
Yep.
All right. 1d8 plus 4. Let's go, baby. 12.
Oh, you got the max on that.
Yeah. Max.
Well, this will be cool too, because you fire your True Strike bow, and casting that True Strike's buff onto the bow itself hit the armor, and with a radiant light, and the armor will light up and burn with like a holy fire, and just collapse to the ground. Mechanically, what that means is you did double damage, because indeed the armor was weak to radiant damage, and goes.
We got him, boys.
That's my son. And that's my other son.
They have all been vanquished with the light of the holy.
Okay. As you finish this fight, you can look around and double check that everyone is okay. Looks like no one was injured. The tour guide did pass out in fear. He was just like, "Oh my god!" and then kind of wilted. But you
May I pour some orcish hot mug into his mouth to revive him?
Okay, yes, absolutely. I want you to do that after I finish the description,
Okay,
but
sorry.
absolutely, no, totally fine. Absolutely, you should do that. That's hilarious. What was his name? Samsor. Yeah, Samsor. And but some of that shaking of the whole thing that caused the whole room to shake. You're gonna see the exit of the entrance to this room that you came from, which would be your natural exit. The room behind you has collapsed actually, and has been sealed off with some sort of like magically ruined up door, and the only way forward or only exit you can possibly take is into that antechamber. A lot of the kids are now crying and or scared. Nikel is distraught as he thinks he has broken the dungeon, which he kind of did, but he's still extremely upset about it. Titan can pour some orcish hot cocoa into Samsor's mouth, who will immediately puke, but will wake up and just be, oh my god, what was that? Horrible poison!
And I would tell him it was either that or death.
I think death would have been preferable. What would you guys like to do?
I will go to Dustin and tell him Dustin, you must rile up the children. One day they will be mighty warriors. They cannot be afraid.
Oh my god. Gather, children.
Oh my gosh.
Recall once the stories of old. The ability of making fire and purging the cold hearts of man. You must purge the cold fear from your hearts. Gather around and create a fire that will devour whatever may lie before us.
The kids will gather around you, pretty enthusiastic about the idea of making a fire, but they're gonna turn to Emberlyn and say, "Are we allowed to make the fire?"
And I, just like completely disheveled by all of this, go, no fire. And then I look at all the adults in the room, like the head steward, the tour guide, and I say, what just happened?
And the steward is the guide tour guy. He's the only guy around who's not from your path group or the church or the sanctuary.
Okay.
And he'll just go, I'm not so sure. That's never happened before. This has never happened before. And Morwood will speak up and say, this dungeon was built upon an ancient keep. Perhaps that antechamber in there isn't the original dungeon. And Elwyn, who is also part of your path group, will say, yeah, actually, this would make sense. This dungeon was originally built upon an ancient keep, and there is an actual dungeon beneath this. What kind of dungeon, we don't know, but that type of armor that comes up is a guardian to keep people out. Not to, like, hurt anybody per se, but more to keep people out, because whatever's in there is not good, or it's dangerous, or evil, or dark.
And this is the only way out.
That's the only way out.
If this is the only way out, then we have to go through it.
Perhaps the children need fire, or they will die.
Was there anything left behind of the armors that we just destroyed that we might be able to arm these children with?
Incredible.
No, because the weaponry they use, what you can pick up, right, is big. It's too big. It's man-sized. It's huge. It's adult-sized.
Okay,
so no,
but we
Can we equip ourselves with it?
If you so choose, yes. There's nothing particularly fancy about the equipment. In fact, it's a little rusted and old. It's ancient, but you can use it if you so choose. It's just kind of slightly worse than what you've got. However, you can sell this off later as raw materials to make some money afterwards, which would be pretty typical.
Yeah, I think for now it's good to arm maybe Samsor, but I'll definitely be keeping sword or two after this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I tell the adults to equip themselves with the armor if they don't have any on.
Yeah, they will do their best. Although armor, of course, will be semi-custom fitted, but they're able to do their best to kind of salvage the gear and use it as best as they can. Some of the kids are still pretty distraught, but a lot of them are just like there and ready to follow Dustin around because apparently kids love him. Would you like to enter the next room?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. As you enter the next room, you enter through a stone archway, and inside the air is damper and unnaturally cold. Like you've entered into the room, you were just in another room, it's a regular room temperature, enter the next room, drops like 5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit immediately. You can see that there's some worn ancient tapestries on the wall. You'll notice actually that you'll see on the wall on the banners is the guild's insignia. The insignia of the guild. It's up there, but it is worn, faded, and torn. Okay. Who is going first? This is our first real dungeon in this campaign. So who's going first? How are you entering? Things of that nature.
Can I lead with produce flame so people can see everything in the room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I produce a flame so everyone can see in the room everything that's going on, and so that we can get a better grasp for all this.
What are we seeing?
I can see the dark though. In the dark, right?
Yes, as a drow, you have the ability to have dark vision up to a certain distance. Yes, you can see in darkness up to 120 feet.
Oh wow!
Can I roll a perception to see if there's like an ambush or something dangerous?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can do that.
D20 plus 5 is my bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 14.
14. Okay, that's good.
Nice.
As Amberlynn produces the flame and begins to walk in, you can stop her because you can see immediately that there is a pressure plate on the ground that if you had stepped on it, it would have revealed a trap. And you'll notice actually that with a little skid mark, the arrow that Dustin crit failed and shot into the chamber triggered the pressure plate but the trap reset already. So as you can kind of peek your head in tight, you'll notice that there is a swinging spike door that would have swung out and smashed anybody who walked into the room as soon as they stepped on the plate.
Nice.
Thank God.
Not the children.
I'm very glad that no children were harmed in the making of this production so far.
Yes. One
so
goblin.
far. Or goblin.
Okay, so now we know that it's still there, dangerously set.
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to perceive the ground and navigate our way around it, since it is noticeable the areas that when you step it will trigger it?
Mm-hmm. So with Titan's perception check, yes, you can see where the pressure plates are. The only problem is it's not ridiculously obvious, right? So the kids, for example, also, are they going to have enough discipline to not step on these things? You may or may not know. And your perception check is not one where, just for the record, from a mechanical standpoint, if you would like to disarm these traps, you could try. You don't necessarily have any trap disarming expertise, but you would have to do an investigation check to try.
Can I say that growing up in in the sacred ice forest, solitarily, setting up traps was something that I did, and I do have a +4 and a sleight of hand. I don't know if that would be. Can I roll to try to disarm these with that previous knowledge of setting traps similar to this myself?
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's a great idea, pulling it from your backstory. What I will say, right, is for the D&D purists out here, that's not how D&D works. So you just kind of don't have.
Oh yeah. All right. Sorry.
However, me, Kyle, as a DM, that's great. We're gonna encourage that kind of gameplay. So yes, I'm gonna let you try it.
Sweet.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that is not how D&D works, but I think how tabletop role playing should work.
Dungeon master.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think that's how
I've never
tabletop
played.
games should work. So let's do it.
Sweet. Okay, so what would I do? 1d20 plus my 4 for sleight of hand.
Yes.
Okay,
Come on.
I got a 7.
Oh
Okay.
no!
I was gonna roll if you got below 5 that you were going to trigger the trap and potentially hurt yourself,
Okay,
but
okay.
you did not. What I will say is, Morin will walk over and say, "Okay, here, I'm not normally a trap expert. Let me try." And she'll walk over, and you can see for a second she'll look at the trap, and then she will light her hand up with a bit of magical power, and then it will kind of flow into her body, and then she will and like her eyes will start to glow. She'll look down, look at the trap, pull out a small dagger, and slice something, and then the pressure plate will lift, and it's disarmed.
Oh, girl, what would we do without you? So glad that we all got in trouble so that we could come on this field trip so that we could go into this dangerous room together.
She'll say, "Well, I've got about 10 minutes of this type of vision to be able to look at traps, so we don't have too much more time." And she'll go around and disable all the pressure plates around the room, but it will take her about 6 to 7 minutes, and so she doesn't have much time if there's traps if you're going somewhere else. However, with this, you're able to enter this room. It appears to be more of like an entrance hall of some sort, to like a castle or keep. You're able to use your produced flame, Emberlyn, to kind of just light some random old torches around that can light the room up for everybody. There are other rooms, and there appears to have been like an old staircase that would have gone up to the right side, but that is collapsed, and there is no more exit except for a single exit that will go. There used to be more. There is no longer. It's all collapsed. There's just one exit into the next room.
Are you able to see if anything with this door is all messed up?
You're asking Morwen, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she will take a look and say, "Yeah, this door's fine."
All right, what do we do, guys? I mean, we got not just our own lives or these adults' lives, we got these children's lives. Maybe if we unmuted ourselves, we would be able to figure this out.
What if we leave the kids outside?
Like, just leave them? Well, I guess we could. We could just go in
Leave
and
Samsor to take care of them,
Well,
guard them.
I don't know him that well, but what about the others?
You could definitely do that. And for the record, Sarah and Talia are not adventurers. They're just regular people, so they could hang back. But you could have Goric, Elowin, or Morwen stay behind if you so chose.
Oh, Goric was here?
He's here. He was just
He was protecting the kids.
he protected the kids too. He didn't do much besides that though.
He stood guard.
Yeah, I agree. We should all go inside and leave everyone else out. The three of us will handle whatever's beyond those doors.
Well, I do have one suggestion. What if Morwen joins us because, like she said, she can detect magic for the next few minutes. Maybe she'll be able to at least see some stuff if we go into the room with her.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay. So, who is going first to push into the next room?
Who has the most health?
Yeah, who does?
I have 17.
I have 14.
What do you
Let's
have?
allow Emberlyn to guide us with the flames of her heart and passion.
And so
I
what
only
I
have 14.
okay, so what I do is I look at Morwen and I say, "Are you in it, sister?" And I extend my hand to her.
She'll shake hands.
Let's go in together. You keep lookout, okay? So she and I enter together first.
Okay. You'll enter the next room. And in the next room this is a fancier room. It looks to have lots of broken furniture and some toppled bookshelves. There was like windows and stuff all shattered. It looks like at one point there was a lot of stained glass in here. In the center of a room is a large stone pedestal. It's kind of been crumbling where something used to sit. there's a bunch of books scattered around. There is in the corner also a desk with a book still open up on top of it. As you look again, there appears to this room never had any other exits. It was just a single one. So you have one more exit to go. Morwen will look around and say there are no traps, and that door and to exit is fine.
What are all these books?
Can we read the books?
Mm-hmm. Let's do an investigation check to check out the books.
Everyone?
Everyone can do so, yes, because there's a lot of books. And of course, just for the record, Gorek, Elowen, Sarah, Talia, and the steward, Samsor, have been left behind to make sure everyone's going to be okay.
Okay.
I rolled a 14.
I rolled a 10.
0.
An 11 from
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
Okay, so most of the books are just straight up unreadable. They've been lost to time due to wear and tear. You do get a sense that they're pretty old for this reason. And I should roll for Morwen as well because she is with you. Oh, she got a crit 20.
Our girl.
Okay, so she'll find it, but she'll find whatever's in here. But you guys can read around, and basically, this just appears to be, from what you've read, an old guild hall. So there's just a lot of old information on guilds and ledgers on like quests that have gone on and like what's stored in the larder, a bunch of other stuff. So this was just a guild, as far as you can tell. Morwen will find that at the back of this room and that on that desk with the big book is a diary of sorts. And the name is sort of blotted out, but this was a sort of ledger and journal of the leader of this guild hall. And from the text, Morwen will say, we could probably ask Elowen if we take this back out, but this is very old.
Do you think this might be Arendor's?
No, definitely not. Like we have his type of handwriting preserved. This is not it. But this is some really old stuff. Though she does think it is post cataclysm. So, just from the type of text and the writing in it. For the record, for the lore, for everybody to remember, right? The Star Wars 6 were the original heroes who found the moral compass. They founded their kingdoms and their groups, and they founded the Adventurers Guild. Specifically, Arendor was the primary person who founded that. And then eventually, there was a cataclysm where a bunch of people fought over the compass, and then the compass disappeared. The kingdom of Aetherith blew up, and huge parts of the world got destroyed in this conflict, and people don't totally know why. Since then, it's been more of modern history, so to speak. So this is a semi-modern, but it's still old.
Well, can you detect what it says? Like, are you able to read the language of what's written here on the pages, or what at least was written here last?
Mm-hmm. So it appears that this person was having disagreements with other guild leaders around, and it's just kind of just describing his own philosophical thoughts on how to lead the guild and where to go, and how he is having several disagreements with other guild leaders about how to run the guild.
Does it say anything about disagreements over the moral compass, or anything about the moral compass in general?
Yes, it does, but not in like, oh, we have the moral compass and things like that. It's just like, this is what the compass stands for, and this is what we should be doing. And they think the compass stands for this, but it's not. That's sort of the stuff he's talking about.
Mm.
I think that we should take this with us. This seems like something that maybe we should read when we actually have the light of day to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Emberlyn. We should take it with us, and maybe some of the guild scholars can look into it.
Is there anything else here that is worth taking? Should we investigate further? Anything important in the room?
Mm-hmm. So the other thing that's with this book is an old necklace. What
does it look like?
It looks like yours, of course, Emberlyn, looks like a star. This one is a moon.
Wait! And then I take out my necklace. Wait, did these go together? Can I see that, Maureen? Can you hand me that?
Mm-hmm. You can hold it.
So, when I received this necklace, there was always a legend that was told about it, that it would glow within the hands of the one who was worthy and called. And I'm not tooting my own horn here, all right? But when I picked it up, it started to glow like crazy. Now, when I pick up this one, does this one glow as well?
It does not. When you pick it up, though, what you can compare, as it's very obvious, that these are made of the same material and appear to be made at the same time, around the same era. So they're about the same age. Despite the fact that everything in this dungeon is pretty gross, dilapidated, worn from time, both your amulet and this thing are pristine.
Dustin, I want you to hold this, and if it doesn't glow, Titan, I want you to hold this. I want to see if it glows maybe in one of your hands.
Cool. So I grab it. Does it glow?
Let's roll a check for that.
What kind of check are we rolling?
We're just gonna roll a luck check, so that's 1d20.
1d20.
Oh! 16!
16!
Ooh.
That's pretty good. It will glow in your hands.
Dustin! Dustin!
It seems
The pendant picked you.
power. I don't really know what this means.
It
But
means
I
that
assume-
you're called.
Called by who? I've been called by many voices. All of deceit and lies.
Dustin, when I picked this up and was chosen by divine will, there was a voice that I heard so deeply in my spirit that said, "Go beyond, rekindle the fading flames, the world waits." That's what we need to do. Titan, maybe there's another one. I feel like we're all here together for a reason.
Another necklace?
I mean, maybe there's a star, there's a moon, maybe there's some other ones. I don't know.
All right. And I'll look around for another necklace. Is there?
Nope.
Is there?
Morwen got a crit 20, so she found everything that was supposed to be found in this room.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Did this necklace, like, what? It just glows?
It
Is
just
there
glows.
anything? There's nothing beyond that.
Mm-mm.
It glows brightest, according to my summary sheet. It glows brightest in the hands of those chosen by divine will.
Perhaps this is a sign. I have been called to seek the spirit of truth and to bring back honor to my family name.
I think that's great. I mean, the deity that I serve is the one who I believe spoke to me, that called me to come here to meet you all.
Listen, not to be the bearer of bad news, but maybe it glowed due to temperature change. I mean, you're ice, she's fire. That could probably be it. It's definitely not some divine magic juju.
Speak to me, O Ancient of Days. Please give me the spirit of... What's the... Man, not me forgetting my terms, dude. The spirit of discernment, that I might know what my calling is. And I close my eyes and I sit down. Meditate. Do I hear anything?
At this point, no. That's all.
Okay, I look at Morwen and I say, "You seem like you know a couple of things just about the nature of this town. I mean, we all kind of just strolled on in here. Is there anything about this that looks like familiar to you that you know about?"
Morwen will say, no, not in particular. I mean, I do know a lot about guild history. My family has taught me that for a long time. So this appears to be some sort of guild hall. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious from what we've been reading. The question I have is, why is this guild hall like this, and why is it protected by armor like that? And because that kind of armor is used to seal away evils. So what happened in this guild hall that they were trying to seal it away? Other than that, I'm not totally sure. I don't really know what your necklace is, or this moon one, and I don't know who this is either, though the name is not unclear anyway. Maybe if we do some more investigation, we can figure it out.
Okay, can I look at some of the books and writings on the shelf, and am I able to like read what the binding of them says? Like
pretty much no.
No.
Pretty much
Okay.
no. They're all
I
pretty
say
much
we continue.
now. Mhm.
Yeah, I say we continue forward and whatever might lie ahead.
Let us continue.
Can I just grab like 3 random things off the shelf, like 3 random books to maybe compare later, just
Yeah.
in case there's any information?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, I grabbed 3 books.
All right. So you head into the next room, and in this room is an ancient throne, and there are a bunch, but lining around this area, where it used to be what there was a throne, but lining this area are now coffins, and
Whoa.
sprouting from these coffins as soon as you enter, some skeletons will just emerge, with armored skeletons with weapons in hand. They don't immediately seem hostile, but there is a coffin at the center that will be removed. Like the lid will be removed, and a creature will emerge from it. This, you can clearly see from the dark energy that surrounds it, is a manifestation.
Oh, that's this. Oh,
That's crazy.
That's the thing that emerges from the coffin, and there's some skeletons that go with it. This thing will let out a like horrifying, like banshee-like scream of like. And we're gonna roll for initiative, but it's been about 3 hours, so that is where we're going to stop for the day.
No.
Kyle!
To be continued.
Y'all, time flies by when you're having fun, okay? When you're fighting bugbears and drinking orcish hot chocolate. But if you've made it this far, you're quite the adventurer, and I would love it if you could subscribe, if you could like this, maybe hit the bell so you can be notified. And I would love if you commented what your favorite part was, because we probably have the same favorite part, because I literally love everything about this campaign. But guess what? We drop new episodes every 2 weeks. So if you do hit that bell, you're in for a treat. You're going to see our faces here on your screen soon. You can also follow us on Instagram at Thy Staff of Power for some BTS, for some funny reels to disrupt your doom scrolling. It'll be a good time. But until next time, may your path be clear, your rolls be high. May the compass guide you now and always. Later, losers.